Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Victoria and I'm a licensed real estate salesperson in New York. And today we're going to discuss a very interesting and important topic, renting versus buying. A lot of my friends and a lot of my clients ask me the same question. So Victoria, what do you think? Which one is better? Is it better to rent or is it better to buy? That's actually the question that I kept asking myself as well when I was looking for my first property to buy a few years ago. And you know what? It's not as simple. So let's dive in. But before that, that's my very first YouTube video. So please show me some love, give me your support, and give me your thumbs up if you like this video. Please treat this video as just an informational source. I'm not trying to give any advice to anyone. All right, so let's start with renting. We're going to discuss pros and cons of renting. Let's start with pros. So the biggest pro, in my opinion, is renting is usually less expensive than buying. All you need to pay is your monthly rent. You don't have to worry about property taxes or maintenance or homeowner's insurance. So that's more money to you. The second biggest pro is that you don't have to worry about repairs or when something breaks. You just need to call your landlord or a managing agent, and those things are supposed to be taken care of for you. The third pro of renting is when you like to move to different places or you don't like to be stuck at one place for a long time, then it's easy to get out. You don't need to deal with selling your property or renting it out. All you need to do is just to wait until your lease is up, or even if you break the lease, then it's not going to be that bad of financial consequences. Or if you have a month-to-month deal, then all you need to do is just give a few months notice to your landlord and you're ready to go. No headaches, no hustle. Another one is it's good when, let's say if you want to move to a different town or a different city, or if you want to try a neighborhood that you haven't lived in before. You know, maybe you're thinking about buying, but you're just not sure. Then renting is an excellent option just because you can try it. And if you don't like it, you can move. You know, let's say if you own a property and if you don't like the area, then you have to deal with that. So those are pros of renting. All right, and now let's talk about negative sides of renting or cons, because there are, of course, some. So the biggest one is when you rent something, you're not building equity and the property is not your asset. So you're just basically paying money for rent, but you are not really creating wealth for yourself. The second one is rents tend to go up, and they do go up. And once they do, then you're faced with the dilemma whether or not you want to spend more on your rent or if you want to move and find something more affordable. There are no tax benefits, meaning that you're not able to deduct anything when you rent. Also, you don't really have a control over your space in terms of you're not able to do any renovations until you speak with the landlord and get their approval. Well, for example, I don't know, if you want to change the color of your walls because it's, for example, blue and you want to have it painted red, I'm sure that could be arranged with the landlord. But if you want to do something major, probably it's not going to happen. Also, a lot of buildings have no pet policies. And if you do have pets, then you are not able to live there and that becomes a problem. All right, and now let's move on to home buying. We're going to discuss pros and cons. So home buying is a very exciting process. And one of the biggest pros of that is that it adds to your net worth and it helps you with building equity. If you do have a loan, as you're paying down your loan, your equity increases. The second big pro is that you are able to take advantage of tax benefits. There is a cap of $10,000, but you are able to deduct some of your property taxes and interest rates against your federal income taxes. The third one, and very important, is right now we're actually having historically low mortgage rates. So money is very cheap to borrow. And for people who are able to afford it, then it makes a financial sense. Another one is home buying has a long-term stability, meaning that it's yours, you don't really, well, technically if you have a loan, it still belongs to the bank, but as you are paying down your loan, that's becoming more of your asset rather than a liability. And you really can do anything with it. You don't have to deal with moving, let's say like when you're renting something and your landlord decides to sell the property, then you have no choice but have to look for another place to live. When you own something, you really don't have this problem. You can have a total control over your living space. You can do any renovations, anything that you would like. Also here, be mindful because some of the buildings in Manhattan, for example, or in any area, they do have certain rules like co-ops and condos. They might have a rule that they don't allow wet over dry, meaning that let's say you want to expand your bathroom and make it bigger, you're not able to. That all depends on rules and regulations of the particular building. Home buying helps you build a credit score. I'm sure there is no explanation needed here. It's always good. It's a stable investment. It's not as volatile as a stock market. And also, home buying serves as an investment. If one day you decide to rent it out, then you can create a positive cash flow for yourself and just have a passive income, which always helps. As exciting as it is, home buying still has its cons as well. And one of the biggest one is it is expensive. Let's say if you apply for a mortgage, not only you have to pay for that, but on top of that, you need to pay for property taxes, maintenance, and homeowner's insurance. And usually those go up. Another thing is, as a homeowner myself, just from my personal experience, I know that there is always something that either breaks or needs fixing or needs a replacement. Of course, it doesn't happen every day and it might not happen for some time, but you should definitely, keep it in mind just because it might happen one day. And let's say if you have a home and it needs a new roof, then it is very costly. Not every real estate property is financially beneficial when you buy it. There are situations where people can lose money. Let's say if they buy something and they need to sell it quickly within a year or two, and I'm not talking about house flipping here, just because it's a totally different animal, but yeah, due to different costs and everything, people might end up losing money. Well, let's say if the neighborhood declines, or there is a surplus in housing, or any other different situations. Let's say there is a gain when someone sells a property, then they might get slammed with their capital gain taxes. Also, a big con is real estate is illiquid, meaning that you are not able to turn it into cash overnight or that easily. Of course, there are some homes that sell much quicker than the other ones, but it does usually take time. As a homeowner, you have an increased responsibility and liability, and also there is less mobility, just because you have a property that you have to deal with, and if you want to move somewhere, for example, to a different city or different state or even to a different country, you still need to worry about what to do with your existing property, whether you want to rent it, sell it, or just keep it vacant. So that's about it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that I was able to bring some light towards some questions that you might have. Thank you so much for watching.